Just think for yourself. On what basis do you decide that a movie is to be watched with your friends or with your parents? Why contraceptive advertisements in a movie theater create awkward moments? Why do you browse some websites in incognito mode? I'm sure you all agree that somewhere the common factor in all these answers is the word sex. Yes, you heard me right. The word that is thought to be connected only with pleasure and desire. The word that is the reason why you and I actually exist. Those same three letters which we don't even dare to speak loudly. And it's the same word which draws a line between even our closest friends and family. Have you ever wondered why? Our society has come a long way compared to ancient times. We have evolved greatly, shattering stereotypes and prejudices, and reaching a point where we feel free and comfortable to discuss about periods and relationships with our parents. Then why sex becomes a daunting and awkward prospect and teens secretly begin to watch porn videos? Why something so natural is talked about so unnaturally? It's a vicious cycle that has three main elements: the society's mentality, a child's curiosity, which finally ends at porn and teen pregnancy. Let's go step by step. We all live in a sex saturated culture, but the topic is rarely discussed openly, let alone effectively. Ironically, it's a taboo to talk about sex in our society, the same society where girls are raped in public. It has a lot to do with what's in people's heads. The stigma around sex makes them feel that sex is only a way to fulfill sexual desire. They fail to consider the natural significance of this process, which is reproduction. And this mentality is clearly reflected in our education system. Any biology teacher teaching the chapter reproduction in class 10 never dares to mention the word sex. Instead, after explaining the male and female reproductive systems, he or she jumps to the fact when the sperm enters the ovum, fertilization takes place. Now, who is going to explain how did the sperm reach the ovum? And that's where curiosity plays its role. You can't blame teens. They are curious. And when society tries to turn sex into something grotesque that can't or shouldn't be discussed openly, it piques their interest. The story of Pandora's box explains this in a better way. To get revenge from mankind, Zeus sent a curious girl named Pandora with a little box as a present for Epimetheus down on Earth. Zeus gave the key of the box to Epimetheus, clearly warning him to never open it. A few days later, unable to control her curiosity, Pandora stole the key from Epimetheus and opened the box. Zeus got his revenge because out of the box flew every kind of trouble that people had never even known before. This mythological incident explains us the root cause. The more you forbid a child to do something, the more curious he gets and wants to explore it by himself. That's what Pandora did. Also, scientifically, according to the curiosity drive theory of psychology, curiosity is developed strictly out of the desire to make sense of unfamiliar, uncertain, or ambiguous aspects of one's environment. That is why, in order to satisfy their question, many young people turn to pornography for information and details. Because in the society's view, sex is not regarded as a worthy topic to discuss. And that's where the problem deepens. I realized this a few months back when I went to a 3-day book sale. There were long tables with only 2 to 5 copies of a single book, that too randomly placed. You can imagine how hard it was for me to search a book as famous as Dan Brown's or Sidney Shepherd. But then I saw youngsters crowding around some cartons placed on the last table. I thought those would be the famous series with all parts arranged in a chronological order. It would make my task much easier. But unfortunately, on having a closer look, I found that there were 3 cartons with 100 copies of the 50 Shades of Grey series. For those of you who don't know what that is, 50 Shades of Grey is probably the first book to intensively introduce the sadistic version of sex. Later in the evening, I had my first sex talk with my parents. I can't deny it was awkward, especially when they told me how during their college days, students were crazy about the Playboy magazine. They would secretly bring it, wrapped in paper envelopes, and go through it with their friends. I believe things haven't changed even today. When I conducted a short survey amongst teens, I found that 82% don't feel comfortable to talk about sex with their parents. Moreover, 56% got to know about it through their friends and 20% through movies. Things became clearer when the Indian Express reported a case titled The Teen Tryst with Porn, which talked of a class 8 boy who got into porn when one of his friends brought a picture of a scantily clad woman, and the entire class gathered around. From pictures and magazines, he began seeing porn videos and CDs and ultimately on the internet. During Pornhub's 10-year anniversary in 2018, statistics reveal that youngsters aged 13 to 25 years are the largest group of internet porn users. What more, on an average, every minute of the day, 2 million porn videos are watched all over the world. I know, these facts are quite shocking. But scarier has been the impact. Porn videos have created a hypersexual vision of the world, where boys tend to objectify girls and thus develop a casual attitude towards sexual violence. Moreover, it creates an unrealistic view of pleasure in the child's mind, due to which teen pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases have now become common. According to NFHS, National Family Health Survey, 16 million girls between the ages of 15 to 19 become mothers each year. 30 to 35 million cases of STDs occur every year in our country. Who is to be blamed? Where did things actually go wrong? I'm sure you all realize that a child's curiosity can never be suppressed. But instead of letting porn videos and movies do the talking, parents and teachers should take the initiative to start such important conversations. Teens need to be given a chance to explore their sexual curiosity, and they should be guided through this very complicated modern sexual world with transparency and honesty. Comprehensive sex education, including its spiritual aspects, should be a part of their education throughout high school. It's not them who need to change, but the environment where they are nurtured, the society that they belong to, and the people they surround themselves with. Because sex has always been and will always be just a natural process. It's the society's outlook that makes it different. It's high time to blur those lines and change the fate of this world from something disgraceful and filthy to something beautiful that we all feel comfortable to talk about. Thank you.